Hey everyone, it's week 6 of our quarantine session live stream. Hope everyone's being safe out there. I know it's been tough. We're all fighting this together. And we're going to get through it. It looks like we're starting to go in the right direction, which is great. But you know what? That's why we're doing these shows. We're just trying to keep spirits high and let people know that we're still here, and we're one of them, thousands of musicians and groups out there that aren't really able to go out and do things. So we're doing this to do the next best thing. It's been real fun for us. We've actually gotten to meet some new friends and started work with some really great inspirational people. And we're going to get to them here today. We actually have a couple of them with us on the show. But I just want to do a few housekeeping things just to remind folks that again, we are doing this to keep spirits high, like I said, but we're also trying to grow and bring our show to the next level while still dealing with all of this. So again, for those of you who have not signed up yet for our Kalimba VIP fan page, please go ahead to our website and sign up for as little as $5 a month. We're going to be able to you'll be able to access our live streams at any time. Also, when we start touring again, you'll be able to watch all of our concerts via live streams as well, through the behind the firewall and the password. That is a monthly subscription. You don't have to worry about it once you sign up. It allows us to help support what we're trying to do. In addition to that, we actually are going to be starting to do some virtual fundraising events as well. So if there's any of you that are working for any organizations or any type of fundraising platforms like scholarship funds, things like that, please reach out to us. We've found create a platform to allow for virtual concerts, virtual fundraising platforms utilizing Google Meet or Zoom and having a concert in the middle. And so if you'd like to know more about that, please reach out to us directly via our website, Facebook, Instagram, or or email as well. That being said, I'd like to bring on our special guest for today. We've actually got someone all the way from London with us today, Mr. More Pleasure. We appreciate you being here, as well as Sheldon Reynolds, who you guys have met the last couple weeks, as well, and Chaz Smith, our lead singer of Kalimba. It'll just be the four of us today, but welcome, guys. Appreciate you all being here.
What's up?
Cheers from London.
That's Morris' pleasure.
Come on. What's up, big bro? Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Chaz?
You play that piano? You play that piano?
That piano with the fingers.
Well, we're real honored to have you here today with us, Mo. We really do appreciate it. So you're over in London right now. What are you doing out over there?
Well, I kind of live here, Chris. I the last 5 years I've been doing a lot of stuff over here. I got my own bands here, and I do a lot of production. I do master classes at a lot of the universities and major music schools, and I do I do songwriting workshops and all kinds of stuff. You can find me anywhere here, and it's a completely different scene, and I really like that. There's a lot of really talented young people here that are very tenacious and love what they do and are really going for it. So in this this stage of my life, I'm really loving it because I'm learning a lot, and I'm getting to do a lot of things that I wouldn't necessarily get to do in the States.
Neat. It's a little later over there now, isn't it? What time is it over there?
It's after 11. I mean, is there any concept of time we're in the world right now? Would you say, Shel?
The sun's down.
Yeah.
It's musician's hour.
The witching hour. This is, it's funny because I've been doing a lot of online concerts, and so you all are in Los Angeles, or at least some of you are in Los Angeles. Chaz, are you in Los Angeles? I'm not
okay.
Sure. Okay. So it's like I'm used to doing this because I'm doing a lot of online concerts that are like back in the States and being sponsored by people in the States, and doing it from my living room. But a lot of times it'll be like 1 in the morning and stuff. I'll be doing concerts and stuff like that. So I'm used to it.
Oh. Well, we appreciate you staying up late and joining us. I'm sure our fans are going to enjoy this as well. And then Sheldon, how you doing, buddy? How you doing this week?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm loving being in my room.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to go crazy. So it's been good. I mean, I look forward to doing this every week because it's like we get to say hello to all the family.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, brother.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Wonderful. And Chaz, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, we hanging in over here, man. We hanging in there. Hey, thank goodness, we all safe and got music to do, so we hanging.
Yeah, it's good to bring some positive energy in this really negative space we're going through.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
very interesting time period. It's funny because I'm actually busier than ever, but my commute is like, whatever. My commute is to the the yard, back to the living room, to but reaching out to people all over the world, which has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to get used to it because this is probably going to be the new norm for a while.
Right.
And I mean, I think I was watching something that talked about having drive-in concerts. I think that was
Mm.
in Europe somewhere, and like using old drive-in movie theaters and putting stages up. Because as long as you're in your car, you're outside of 6 feet. So it might be the new norm, but we all have
Yeah,
to
we're
kind of
we're 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 in that groove long and prosper.
Yes,
yeah
sir.
groove walk and phosphor.
Sure. Yeah,
But
it's been
we got to
interesting. We've
create new norms.
been doing concerts from the driveway too, because everybody comes out of their house and
Mhm.
kind of street party vibe. They like every Thursday here, they give a clap for the NHS, the National Health
Mm.
Service. And so me and my girlfriend started doing these concerts, out there, and now you see more and more people are coming out, and on the internet, the community is talking about like, well, what song are you doing this week? Because we want to, and it's this Friday they're having a thing, and everybody's kind of barbecuing and doing whatever they do in their own yard, but at the same time, saying hello to everybody down the street and that kind of thing. So
Mm.
It's wonderful. Even though we have to be farther apart, it's going to bring us all closer together. It's kind of ironic if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Actually,
you
the
know
funny
what?
thing is, the first
Go
time I
ahead.
ever did something, first time I ever did something similar to this was with Morris when we were working on your project, and I was in Seattle, and I sang and sent it to you via the internet or something like that.
yeah, unbelievable. I
Right.
mean, we've been doing it for a long time, bro. I think
Right.
we're a little bit kind of pioneers in that because I can remember sending tracks to people to play on, probably between us and all that, like back in the late '90s,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
like in
Right.
the dial-up era, we were doing that stuff.
That's right.
Hmm.
So it take you a week to get upload a track.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it did.
Yeah, it was hit and miss.
Yeah, but it was like the first time that we had kind of taken the power in our own hands because before then it was record labels and budgets and this kind of thing, and all that was kind of failing, and the labels didn't really have their eye to the future, and certainly budgets were getting smaller and all that. So we just kind of figured out ways that we could do stuff out of garages. And how many times I go up to Seattle, bro, and do that stuff with you
Right.
all?
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was quite an adventure.
Yeah.
Well, I think on that note, let's we put something together this week. It didn't, with the modern internet, it's a little quicker these days. So we put a couple tracks together as we do every week, and we'll start with this one. So you folks, please enjoy. We'll be right back.
We've been together since we met, soul to soul as two can get. Well, day by day, our hearts entwine.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was off their most recent album. We enjoyed doing that song. It just brings joy to us to be able to do it for you guys during this time. Just as a reminder to everyone out there, if you're watching this on all your social media platforms, please should be a button at the bottom that says share. We'd love it if you guys could share it and share with everyone else that you know what we're trying to do and who we are. We can't do this without you guys, and so the more you guys can tell people about us, the more you guys can make comments and share, the more we can continue to grow. So appreciate you guys watching and doing that for us. I've got our panel back here with us, and I was just going to hand the baton over to Chaz and have him lead the discussion here. Go ahead, Chaz.
What is happening, everybody? Hope everybody's safe and doing well and hanging in there. Today we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Mo Pleasure.
Sure.
Plays multi instruments. He's played with Earth, Wind, and Fire for how many years did you hit that with him, Mo?
I did 93 to 2001, so a little over 8, somewhere around about 8.
And I'm sure for everybody out there that watches the concerts and stuff, man, you see this guy up there locking it down. We also have our buddy, our one of our mentors, Sheldon Reynolds, here with us. What's up there, Mr. Sheldon? All right. Here. But folks, these guys, you guys know how I feel about Earth, Wind, and Fire out there, man. You know, the music is so inspiring and uplifting, and you know, these guys came in not as they weren't original members, but as the group kept progressing and kept moving along, they just kept it right there, man, and didn't lose anything, just enhanced it even more. Mo, I wanted to ask you, did you you were able to play with Maurice at some points, correct?
Oh, quite a bit. As a matter of fact, not just with Earth and Fire, did a lot of studio projects with him and some writing, did a lot of songwriting with him as well. Yeah, I knew him very well. Yeah, Sheldon and I and Maurice wrote a song together.
Yeah, and I remember man, what was that one concert, man? You guys played Revolution, man. That thing out of
Yeah, that was crazy, Chaz. That was like that was the time that Maurice was writing. He came to it was written out of my apartment in kind of near the Beverly Center down there in LA. And Sheldon and Sonny and I, our other brother, Sonny Emery, who's baddest drummer in the world, is and I were doing some writing and stuff, and Reese came over and was writing with us and stuff, and we just went into this thing. Sonny had the MPC 60, and we just like set up the groove and this and that, and we just started writing Revolution, and then Sheldon came and put his magic on it, all that kind of stuff. And then it was actually the first time I ever used a talk box in my life. And there's actually a story behind that, because for inspiration, I went to see Roger at the Strand. You remember the Strand? Shell down there, we're down the beach. And they actually ended up having this whole fight, and this girl had pepper spray and it emptied the whole club out and all this kind of stuff. But I got enough to see Roger do his thing. And if you listen to Revolution, you can hear me actually talking to Maurice on it, because I went in a little bit early to kind of try out the talk box, and Reese walked in, and I'm going like, Maurice, and they just kept everything, just kind of put the whole thing down. But yeah, it was fun. Sheldon used to sing lead on that song, which was killer.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how he sings now when we play it with him.
Yes, sir.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I can't remember the words.
Something I remember, Reese was like, he goes, I can't get over it, man. He sings like me. I'd be like, okay, well, that's pretty good, pretty cool little thing, great person to be singing like. I wish I could do that.
Oh my God.
And Mo, you played many instruments, trumpet, bass.
Yeah, I do. I still do, Chaz. I used to play violin. You know, I mean, through my life, I played a lot of instruments. You know, and not all of them stayed, but I still play guitar even. You know, but yeah, I mean, nobody ever told me I couldn't, so I just kept, you know, doing it. My dad was always like, my dad wanted me to stick to one, but I just couldn't do it.
So Mo, I know that Sheldon's, you know, he came out of the Ohio camp. Where'd you
Yeah.
where were you grow up and
New
everything?
Haven, Connecticut. Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. hmm So like New Haven, Hartford, Westchester County, New York City. I had gigs. You know, I came out of doing gigs in the Village down in New York City, and my first gig was Ray Charles, and that was Los Angeles. So it was kind of like I went to LA and went back to New York, then moved back to LA, dug that for a while. Went down, me and Sonny got to be tight. I went to Atlanta, moved there, got a place there, moved back to LA, moved back to Atlanta, uh, and then London. And I'm still in London.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I know,
On
man,
the
you know,
road
you've
You
again.
done
ready?
some great work, man,
Oh, thank you,
and
brother. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm just, you know, I'm amazed at the musicianship that this you know, that Earth, Wind, and Fire has always had, man. I mean, just top notch. You guys always just been top notch cats, man. It's, you know, what's that story, man? How'd you get that gig?
That was through Philip and through George Duke. So I've been playing with George Duke and kind of new to LA. And Philip, I think the thing was, because Sheldon could tell you better kind of on the front side of that, but they decided to reform Earth, Wind, and Fire again. And Philip told George Duke that he was wondering who he would recommend as a keyboardist. And George recommended me. And that's kind of how I got in.
Right.
And I'll never forget it because I met Sheldon because I was a fan. Believe me, I was a super fan of Sheldon's and Sonny and all them because I'd seen Touch the World, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I've been watching. I think I'm clocked at about 13 or 14 Earth, Wind, and Fire concerts before I got in the band. You know, I was a fan. So
Right.
I walk in the studio. I don't know if you remember this day, Sheldon. I walked in the studio, and first person I ran into was you. And already I was just like I couldn't really speak. You know, we had that Arsenio Hall gig coming up. That was the first gig,
Right.
and I'm already starstruck from Sheldon and this and that. He's like humble as pie and all this kind of thing. I just can't even believe it. And then he said, "There's Reese right there," and Maurice was in a chair, and almost like you know, Blofeld or like, you know, one of those James Bond villains or something. He was in a swivel chair and he turned around. All he was missing was the white cat. He just turned around, and I was just like, I couldn't even speak. Could not speak because it'd been like completion of a dream for me since I was 14 years old to meet those guys. So
Yeah,
That
that
was,
was it.
that's one thing I haven't. I met a lot of the guys, and um, did never get a chance to meet Maurice, man, and
wow,
you know,
yeah,
and
Yeah,
that
he had the aura he had the aura of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
mm, mm. And I mean, ever heard a bad thing about that band? None of you guys know, you know, just that's amazing, man. You know, no bad
yeah,
press, man. No, you know, nobody's tripping in the tabloids or no, you know, nothing, man. And you got and tight as a gnat's, you know what?
yeah.
And,
Right.
and that
But
is, man.
it was Maurice always kind of, he would say stuff like, you know, don't embarrass my band,
Right,
and
right, right.
keep your stuff your stuff.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and he was on a serious note. He would say, you know, if you at all costs keep your mystique.
Yes,
Mhm,
You lose your mystique, you lost everything.
true.
mhm. Wow, wow.
Yeah, I learned a lot from Maurice. He was, and you know, you learn just by being in his presence. It wasn't the kind of thing. He's just like a master teacher just by being around him. He's just a regular guy. I mean, like you can't. That was the thing. I thought he was gonna levitate or you know speak 20 languages or something. You know, we actually used to have a little bit of fun with, because we do interviews and stuff, and of course the interviewers would think that we were like from some other planet or this kind of thing. So we
Oh yeah, New York.
we like pretend like we were telepathy. We would do interviews and we'd be telepathically speaking to each other. The interviewers didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
man.
Stuff like that. We just had fun with it.
Or
But
if
it was
there
just
a-
regular folks that were committed to doing something well and doing something from the heart, and it was like we were allowed to, like the more that we would be the most of ourselves, the more that they would want us to do even more of that. So it was never this, hey, wait a minute, you can't play that. It never ever happened.
Mhm.
It was always like, let's try that.
Right.
And so magical moments would just come out, and then we'd be on stage, and it was like, hey, remember that little thing we did there?
Mhm.
Wow. Yep. That's was able to meet Verdine. Man, nice cat. Always been an inspiration to me, man. I started off playing bass when I was young. I still play a little bit, when I need to, but always so clean and tight. And man, I just don't know how those guys groove that hard like that, man. I mean, come up with all that stuff. It was really before its time, man, that music.
Mhm.
And still lasting today, man. I mean, man, I can just sit and listen to it, and it's a lesson every time. I tell my boys that all the time, man. Every time I sit down to do that music, man, it's a lesson, It's like,
Right.
man, I wouldn't have thought that went with that, but man, that's working.
Mhm.
Good stuff, Sheldon and Mo. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, man.
yeah. It was a lot of freedom to express yourself, and that I truly cherish those years. With and Morris was the guy who could come in and play any instrument, and if you wasn't confident on your instrument, don't give it to Morris.
Hmm.
He'll embarrass you.
Man. Yeah, that was some great stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
It's just incredible, Still why it's like you said, Chaz, why it's still going on strong today, why it transcends so many genres, anything. It transcends everything. And even now, with the way the music is, contemporary pop music now, it's still coming back. All the young people when we play our shows, you're surprised. I'm surprised too when you see a bunch of teenagers singing every word to every song. It's pretty impressive. So,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like we got Mo back here. We lost you there
Right.
for a second. It's
Bad
okay.
internet in London, I think.
Yeah, you're in London. We'll forgive you this time.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I remember real quick. I remember the Pepsi commercial that Earth, Wind, and Fire did. You guys remember that?
Yeah, I do.
That was
Mm-hmm.
something. Guys were holding a big boom box back there and getting it. Man, it was cool. Yeah.
Panasonic.
I thought there was a Panasonic commercial.
Oh,
I heard that was one of the best commercial gigs or something like that. The most profitable. There was something on that. I saw it on a stream, a couple, a Facebook post or something like that. But it was like the most profitable or something like that commercial ever negotiated. But it was
wow.
Panasonic, right, with the boom boxes. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember with the Coca-Cola commercial.
Ooh, the competitor.
Yeah.
Yo, do you remember the Dasani water commercial that we did at Venice
Right.
Beach?
Right.
That was crazy. We were on roller skates.
Yeah, those who could skate were on roller skates.
That's right. Mine were taped because I couldn't. I had taped
Yeah,
skates.
I had to act like I was.
Yeah. But I remember the most was that Verdine was mad because he had to put a helmet on his hair. He was
Right.
like, "Wait a
Right.
minute, I'm not doing that."
We'll be missing that man.
What you doing there?
No.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
there's so many good times, and Chris, it was like, I mean, we could go on forever with stories, I mean, and I was only in there for a minute, and Sheldon was in there a lot longer than I was, but amazing experience.
What's been real neat though is since we've had our friendship with Sheldon so long, we've been able to kind of grow, and we got to meet David Romero, play with
Oh
him
yeah,
before, and then David introduced us to Gordon Campbell, who we had on last week, and then so it's like for us, we're loving it because we get to meet. We've met Sheldon, known Sheldon for I think 5 years now, which is
yeah,
an honor in and of itself,
best,
But
yeah,
then also now we're get to meet you guys, and it's like sometimes I have to pinch myself because it's like, most people don't get this opportunity,
yeah,
like to even just have a conversation, phone call, play with, ask
yeah.
questions too. So for us, I know I speak for myself, and I'm sure Chaz and everyone in our group, that it's just an honor to be able to spend time and ask you questions and share ideas because, you know, we're all trying to do music, and for us we're just trying to continue Maurice's legacy,
Yeah.
as best that we can, and we're never going to try and say we ever are them or would be them, but we just try and continue the legacy that Maurice started and began with. So but I think
It's so true, and it goes so many different ways, Chris. Because Sheldon and I have done a bunch of other projects that like things that Maurice produced that were other
Mm-hmm.
projects. Brian Culbertson, um,
Mm-hmm.
Sonny's album, on and on. And it's like Sonny Emery did his own album, and then our own project, Devoted Spirits, which was and
Mm-hmm.
so you realize that Earth, Wind, and Fire is a family that kind of goes on forever.
Right.
Because like Devoted Spirits, that's me, Sheldon, and that's his brainchild. Sheldon and me and Larry Dunn, and then Johnny Graham is on the album, and
Gerald Albright.
Gerald Albright's on there. Ronnie Laws, who's an original Earth, Wind, and Fire member, is on there, and Terry Lee Carrington, and on and on and on. And then also into the Hendrix thing, because we did it. I was just honored to be part of that part of the touring and all that with the Jimi Hendrix 60th anniversary and his album and all that kind of stuff. And Earth, Wind, and Fire and Prince and Lenny Kravitz and everybody in the world was on. Shaka and P-Funk, all them, Bootsy, are on that album, and we're on it as well. So, and without Sheldon, I would not have been there.
Yeah, that was something else.
Amazing, just amazing. The great Ricky Lawson, got to play with Ricky every night. Bobby Watson, from Rufus and all that. Just I want to thank you, Sheldon, for bringing me into all those projects. Because
I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, brother.
I can't play no chords.
I beg to differ.
one string at a time.
Right. I only got two.
Yeah, kept. He's playing half the keyboards on some of those records too.
Right.
He's so talented.
Thank God for punching.
Well, I think what we'll do right now is we'll give the fans a little bit more music, and we'll come back and chat some more. We've got one more for you guys to enjoy, and we'll be right back.
The biggest unanswered question is, where is the money?
Everybody get up. revolution. Another night, I shed another tear. I'm waiting for somebody new to lead the revolution. So I dance, system of survival. SOS. I dance, system of survival. It's a system of survival. Oh, victory Bible feeling. Greet the new arrival. Oh, it's a system of survival. Oh, victory Bible. Greet the new arrival. Everybody get up, do your dance, still out. Oh, everybody get up, do your dance, yeah, yeah. It's a system of survival, victory Bible, greet the new arrival. Ooh, it's a system of survival, victory Bible, greet the new arrival. Play your piano. System of survival. System of survival.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. We enjoyed doing that. Want to do a quick shout out to all the people on Facebook and social media talking about us here. Hello to everyone. Got a couple questions. We're going to ask one or two, and then we'll save the rest for the after show. So if you questions not asked and you haven't signed up for a VIP fan page yet, please go ahead and do so. Let's see here. Hey Derek, how you doing? Appreciate you watching our show. And yes,
Master.
we love doing Rhythm of Love. It's a great song. We're honored to be able to play it and share it. But yeah, Sheldon Derek says hello.
Hey.
Let's see here. Hope, we appreciate you watching. We thank you so much for supporting us all this time. Let's see here. What else we got here? Dun, dun, dun. Hey Alice. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Oh, you like Walter's dance on that one? Yeah, we I got a kick out of when I was editing the video this week. I love it at the end. But for all those that are, what'd you say, Chaz?
He probably about sore now.
Yeah, that's probably true. Lindy, we're missing you too. We appreciate you watching this week. And like I mentioned to everyone, this will be we're going to take a break next week. We're going to take next week off. We might have some other projects and things that we're going to be doing and sharing, but make sure to catch us on the following week. But again, I'd like to bring the panel back. We're just going to say a couple more things. I'm going to ask one question though before we do that. I think I'm going to ask Hope's question. Let's see here. I just saw it. Apologize here. Let's go back. Where'd she go? Where'd you go, Hope? Where's your question at? Okay, so the question is, what is your favorite event that Earth, Wind, and Fire performed at? So I'm assuming venue. So what was the favorite, your most favorite venue you performed at? We'll start with Mo on that one.
Wow, that's a tough one. I one thing that comes to mind was when we went to the White House and played the biggest, still to date, the largest state dinner with Bill Clinton. Yeah, that was really, really quite a day. And the thing about it was the King of Morocco was the special guest. And we then went on to Morocco and played for the King of Morocco there. So it's kind of like, a double whammy. And that was amazing.
So if I can interrupt on that one, did you Did you watch the last 2 weeks shows? Because that was the same question asked, and that was the same answer they gave. So it must have been a very memorable concert, to say the
Oh yeah.
least. That's what Gordon said. And that's what David said. David pulled out some photos of Sheldon photobombing the photos.
Yeah, I was jumping in every photo.
It was pretty funny. Sorry, I just
It
had to
was
say
like,
that.
here I am.
Yeah, literally, that
Here
was
I am.
Sheldon. Every photo.
Look, Mom, look out, I'm here.
Yeah, it was a thrill. I mean, it's for especially Sheldon, because Sheldon was like he knew Secret Service people, and I think he met Clinton before we even met him. We met him, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
known him
so it was like
about 3 years.
yeah, he was like back home again at the White House.
Right. They were like, "You're here again. We told you
let
to
you
get
back
out of
home."
here." No, for me, I mean, the White House thing is obviously one of the most amazing experiences we could have had. But if you just talked about regular concerts, when we played in Paris, France, the first tour at Bercy is called, I believe, and that was like a Beatlemania concert,
Wow.
and I remember that stands out for me. It was a crazy show. We had to run off the stage, and security was just getting us out of there and all that stuff. It was nuts.
Man, that music is just all over the world, man. I mean, every nationality loves it, man. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
If I might say hello to my wife, Marilyn, and
Maryland.
Jade, and Bryce, Neiman, and
Yeah.
Ryan. I love you, and I thank you for putting up with all this madness of music we do. And thank God
Man,
we're able to still bring some positive energy to the world.
yeah, that is something, man. The families that have to deal with us being musicians, man, that's
Mm-hmm.
tough. That has to be tough. I don't, yeah, that
Yeah, that's a rough ride.
yeah, our hours, man, and all the money we spend on gear, and I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
oh, having to travel and having to do things. That's got to give it up to all the families out there of the musicians, and all the folks that help the musicians out and get us squared away up there on the stage and everything, man. It's, got to give it to you. We appreciate it.
There are people who there when we're nobody,
Oh yeah.
and when nobody's paying us no attention,
Mm-hmm.
and they deserve respect.
Yes. Yes. They sure do. And we appreciate them.
Yes,
Just
we
like
do.
our guy Alex, behind our scene Alex, man. The guy that's putting on this show for us, everybody. Alex Donahue, man, of Diversified Sound, man. Great cat.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Squared away, man. He hey man.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes indeed. And I think Mother's Day is coming up pretty soon, isn't it, boys?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, there's a lot of I knew Sheldon's mom really well too. We were all pretty tight. I have a picture. I have a picture, Sheldon, of you and your mom and my daughter at my
Oh
party.
yeah,
Remember that
I
day?
remember that.
Yeah, you and I we were all right. Actually, we've written songs with Sheldon's mom.
Wow.
Yeah,
And in the name of love.
in the name of love, yes, sir. And
So where he
yeah,
gets.
mhm. Yep.
All right.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Yeah, that was a wonderful time.
Yes, it was.
Well,
Wow.
that's the crazy part. Yeah, Mother's Day is coming up, so we got to make sure and take care of, take a little break, spend some time with the mothers in our lives, whether that be our wives, significant others, the mothers of our children, or our own mothers. We want to make sure that, and this goes a shout out to all those mothers out there for watching and supporting us. We appreciate all of you, and
Mm-hmm.
like to just kind of I think we would just wrap it up a little bit today and start with Mo. Just anything you would like to mention, shout outs, hellos, projects you're working on, um, let people know what's going
Yeah.
on in your life, in your musical career that they may not know of that you'd like to share.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chad. It's been great being here, by the way. And I want to thank you all. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Big Bro Shell. Yeah, and I want to shout out to my mom, Evelyn Pleasure, and to my dad, Bob Hill, and my sisters, Juanita and Lisa and Robin. And just say that, yeah, I'm doing a lot of things. It's been an interesting time. I'm doing concerts on Thursdays and Fridays. My girlfriend and I from London, we've been doing these, just the two of us on the internet, which has been great. So check us out. You just go to my Facebook page, Morris Pleasure, and you can see those things. I've been doing a lot of compilation videos. I got one coming out tomorrow. One of the bigger stars here. His name is Peter Andre, and he's a good friend of mine, and some of the other stars and such. And then I'm dropping my own album, my own CD, which I've been working on forever. Actually, Sheldon's on it. That shows you how long it's been.
Right.
But his mastery is on the album as well. It's called Mo Elements of Pleasure, and I'll be dropping it within the next month or so.
Cool.
So check that out.
Got to get my sampler ready.
Yes, sir. Give me the address. Give me the address, Chaz. I'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
About you, Sheldon? Anything else? Anything you're working on right now?
I'm actually happy to say I've learned how to use Logic.
Yes.
I've been fighting with that. I feel like I was trying to learn Chinese. I've been Pro Tools so long that I just got frustrated because I couldn't find what I'm looking for, and I just took one day and decided to read the tutorials on YouTube and got in there, and suddenly it became like, oh, you stupid. you just dumb. It's so easy. So I've taken this time to just learn how to use the program, and I got excited and started writing again. So there'll be some more Calamity music coming out.
So that means we can send each other files then, huh, bro?
Yeah, I actually know how to do that now.
All
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, last week you were mentioning you were just working on it, so you got it down now. See, only 1 week. Master Logic in 1 week by Sheldon Reynolds. See, you just created our own YouTube channel right there.
Right. Yeah. But all jokes aside, I'm thankful for what we're doing and love you guys. I love what we've done, what me and Morris have done in the past, and that's a part of life you can't imagine how wonderful that was.
Yeah.
And working with you guys on the Kalimba, I mean, it's really cool. It brings a lot of good feeling to the spirit.
That's what we after. That's for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you,
Well,
Chaz?
hey, well, I never would have thought it would have got this far. It was just an idea I had. Got tired of playing in regular old clubs and casinos and stuff, and said I want to do only music that I would like to do is Earth, Wind, and Fire music. And that's been years now. And to meet guys like Sheldon and Morris and David, and, Gordon, I wouldn't have thought it would have got this far, and I appreciate it. Definitely not take it for granted. Things can change any day, and you try to live right because one thing I can say is that the Lord will take it away from you. You think he's not, you don't think he's looking, he's looking. So do the right thing when nobody's looking. So it's just been a blessing. Our crew, Derek, Mike, Walt, Chris, Alex, all our guys, man, and even some of the older guys that we've played with in the past. You know, it's just been a blessing to be able to keep doing it. And, you know, I'm just thankful. And hopefully we can get this thing conquered so we can get back out there and see some faces, man, and shake some hands and hug folks again, you know. Hey.
It's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for watching us today, and I thank Mo, Sheldon, and Chaz for being on today. I'll do a couple shout outs to, as well, to my mom and dad. Thank you for supporting all this all time, and my beautiful wife Laura. Thank you for putting up with all this. I know it's been a lot of work, especially you and I have been stuck at home with the kids for going on 7 weeks now, and it's been tough, especially, I mean, there's a lot of hours behind the scenes on this show, guys, before it even comes on during this hour. Alex, hats off to you. Thank you so much for doing this. We've been spending hours Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights just trying to get these videos together and getting it all planned out. It's so thank you, Laura, for putting up with me on that. Thank you, my kids. You probably saw a little Lewis walking in here. He might walk in again actually here. But
Here you
speaking of the
come.
devil, he's right here. You want to say
Here
hi?
you
Buddy? You want to say hi?
Little Red.
We're supposed to see you here.
That was
Right.
Mommy's office in the cabin.
Oh, say hi, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
What's up, Lewis?
Hi.
Okay, why don't you go show mommy that? Okay.
No.
He's sneaking around finding stuff in his mom's office.
Office.
I know, buddy.
It's in the drawer.
It's in the drawer because it was
Open
hiding it from
I
you.
want to open it. for
Okay, let Daddy finish, and then maybe we will. Okay.
Okay. How we did open and now that I want.
We're not gonna open it right now, buddy. Give
Well,
me a
Mo,
few
I
minutes,
sure
okay?
hope one day, man, I get a chance to shake your hand, sir.
Oh, I think it's gonna happen. I'm sure we'll do some music together, Chaz. I look forward to it.
Oh, that'd be,
Like
man.
that.
You need to do a video with you playing every instrument.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, big bro. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you for everyone watching today, and I think we're gonna throw one we did a few weeks back in the mix here. I think Alex is getting it queued up to call us out here, and you know what? Thank you everyone again for watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks. If you haven't signed up for a VIP fan list, please do so we can continue with the after show. You can ask questions. We'll continue with the questions we have here again for $5 a month. It just helps us. You can cancel anytime. It's just helping us during this trying time. So again, thank you again so much for joining us today. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Wash your hands, and we'll all get through this together. Have a great week. Yeah, love
Thank
going.
you, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
I'm trying to look for more of mommy toys. She has her closet.
I would be so willing to give you all I got. You're a special lady, forget me not. I could be so tender for the likes of you. Let my heart surrender. And love goes on. Love goes on and on and on. Your heart beats strong. Heart beats strong. As love goes on. Every day I'm wishing for that day to come. Feeling superstitious, hoping she's the one. One day I am lonely, next we're playing smiles. Love I find amusing, and love goes on. Love goes on and on and on. Your heart beats strong. Heart beats strong. As love goes on. Work it out. You should know without a doubt. Bye.